So I always have many questions, but I really get the essence of your teachings, and I feel like I'm living them, and I'm in a good place, and things are really going very well. And I understand how special it is to be sitting here in front of you, being able to ask any question I want and get the answer that I need to hear. And so it seems to me that the question is the key. And I would like to know, if you were sitting here in my physical body, looking at you, able to ask any question, I'm very curious to know, what question would you be asking to move me forward, to move us forward?
It's the same question with a lot of different faces, but the essential question would be, what might I do right now? What might I focus right now? How might I feel right now to move myself as quickly as possible to the completion of my vortex as it stands? Mm-hmm. In other words, if we were standing in your physical shoes, our question would be, what can I do to sync up more fully and more consistently with the source within me, to the vortex version of me?
Yeah.
Want to know the answer?
Yes, I do.
Since it's such a really good question. And the answer is, you see, well, we're going to give you that answer, but before, you're going to enjoy this, because you think that we chose you and that you get to just ask any question that you want. But that's not what's going on at all. We know who you are and what's active within you, and we choose you because of that.
Right.
Breakfast thing threw us a little bit. You get what we're talking about. So,
yes.
So the answer to that question is, this vortex that we're talking about, you find yourself, whether you know it or not, in the vortex almost without exception every single day. Mm-hmm. It just happens. Something happens where the absence of focused, resistant thought allows an in the vortex moment. It might not last very long. So the answer to our question of how to get closer to vibrational sync with who you are is to care about how you feel and be aware of how you feel, and to do 100% of your efforting, of your affirming from inside the vortex. Things would be so much easier. All the work you do from outside the vortex, while it might move you, it would be so much easier for you if you were just aware that you're in the vortex or right on the brink of it, and then you would just milk your way in. And then, most important, stay there long enough to establish a frequency long enough to get law of attraction working around it in order to establish a vibrational shift every time you go in the vortex. Imagine if you just stumbled in and then maintained and then practiced the vibration of being in the vortex long enough that you affected a stabilizing shift in your vibration, your entire world, everything else from that moment would shift for you. The conversations that would come to you for the rest of the day would be shifted because of the shift in vibration. The memories that you're pondering would be different because of the shifting that you've accomplished. That your digestion would shift, your metabolism would shift, your vitality would shift, everything, the parts of your body and the way they relate to one another and your relationship with every person, place, or thing would shift because you took the time to shift into a different vibrational frequency. How about that? And you do it by recognizing, feel pretty good. What is it about this moment that feels so good? Why do I feel so good? Feels so good. It feels so good. This feels so good. Why does this feel so good? What is it about this moment that feels so good? Is it the air? Is it what I'm seeing? Is it what that person just said? Is it what I was thinking about? Is it because I was breathing deeply? Why do I feel so good? Want to stay here. Just stay here a little longer. Just milk it a little longer. What feels so good about this? Why does this feel so good? Is it the music? Is it something I saw? Is it something you said? Is it something I thought? Why does it feel so good? I I like how this feels. I want to stay right here. I love this feeling. Just milk it. Just milk it. Just milk it. Just milk it. Just maintain the vibration of it. Because you'll slip from it, because life will cause you to. But just that little bit of staying there has changed your relationship with who you are forevermore. You will not be the same person after that much in the vortex focus. And when we use the word effort from inside the vortex, is a whole different word than effort outside the vortex. Because effort inside the vortex is going with the flow of things. Effort outside the vortex is bucking your own current, and it's hard. Best answer ever.
So I've been doing a lot of that, and I feel that I have felt like I'm on the verge of the manifestations for some time. So I'm curious.
But you see, that very sentiment, on the verge of a manifestation that hasn't manifested, takes you right out of the vortex. You can't have it both ways. In other words, you can't be in the vortex and actively aware of the absence of something that you want. So you have to find a way to find the emotional presence of what you want. In other words, you have to be as turned on by the existence of your interest in the manifestation as you are in the manifestation itself. Ooh, I love being interested in this.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like, have you ever sat and looked through a catalog? If you're alive on this planet, you have. Looking through a catalog, have you ever felt a lift in looking through a catalog? That's because the interest in this, the interest is an in the vortex vibration. But now, have you ever looked and turned so many corners down that you got overwhelmed? Or turned so many corners down that you realize there's not enough money or space in the world for all this stuff you've earmarked? Have you ever looked at the catalog long enough that it's no longer life-giving? It sort of just wears you down. It's like, well, what we're getting at is that when you are in the vortex, feeling interested, the manifestation is on the way. When your interest shifts to concern or awareness that it hasn't manifested, now you're practicing a different vibration. And it's practicing the vibration of abundance, or practicing the vibration of alignment that you're reaching for. You getting that? We sort of tiptoed into a new place here. Bring us further with it.
Well, like I said, I feel like I do that. And
do what?
I really enjoy the feeling of just being in alignment, and I practice it regularly. But
what tripped you up was the verge of manifestation. See, it's that manifestation thing that trips you up every time, because if you don't care about being on the verge of manifestation, if the manifestation isn't an issue, the emotion is the issue. You're not on the verge of feeling interested, you're there. You're not on the verge of being happy, you're there. You're not on the verge, you're wholly there. And if you're wholly there, then it has to manifest. But it's this awareness, it's this needing, it's this getting in the vortex in order to make something happen that hasn't happened that throws you out of the vortex.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to convince you in is the deliciousness of the knowing and the feeling of the vortex. We're not kidding you when we say everything that you want is about that feeling anyway. So why not go straight to the feeling, leave out all the hard work of manifesting and storing the stuff and hauling it around and insuring it. Just leave all of that out of it and just feel the thrill of the interest, feel the thrill of the knowing. And we promise you, we're not trying to talk you out of manifestation. The manifestation will come. That's just how it comes. That's why, haven't you been annoyed? We know you have at one time or other in your life. How the rich just keep getting richer. It is so unfair. Why is that? Why do the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? It's because the rich are not offering a vibration of poor. And then people say, well, that's my point. They're rich, so they focus like rich people focus, and then more rich comes to them. And we say, yes, but you don't have to be rich to focus rich. You don't have to be abundant this red hot minute. You just have to find a way of feeling abundant, you see. And the universe, we got to tell you, the universe will follow you round in a concierge-like attitude, opening doors and rolling out red carpets for you in ways that you can't hire done. In other words, when you start practicing the in-the-vortex emotions and you begin to see what this incredible universe is able to orchestrate for you now that you are an emotionally cooperative component, you'll never again have the conversation about being on the verge of it, because you'll be so full of the present tense unfolding of it. It's not like saving up for some big event. Everything is a big event. Oh, wonderful conversation with that person on the elevator. Feels so good moving down the street in my vehicle. Oh, magnificent weather showering down around me. Ooh, good ideas flowing in and out of my mind. Loving people surrounding me. Good meals everywhere I go. In other words, when you get tuned in to the frequency of this vortex, the kinds of things that we've been talking about become a non-issue. There's no effort. The vortex just takes you in. Esther says it's like being under the spell of something so wonderful and so powerful that it just says, here, loved one, here, loved one, here, loved one, here, loved one. Oh, here, loved one, here, loved one. Ooh, you like that? Here's more. That feels good. Here's more. Think it can't get any better? It can. Here's more. It's like that.
Yeah, I feel it. And I have said for a long time, I feel like I live a charmed life because I feel those feelings. And so from where I am, is there anything that you can share that might help me move forward?
Just catch you in your on the vergenesses. When you catch yourself feeling that something that isn't yet is about to happen. In other words, there's a fine line between anticipation and expectation. In other words, anticipation, positive anticipation, and negative expectation. Expectation, what you expect. You want to train your expectancy into wonderful things. We want you to know as we know what you are capable of living fully. We want you to sniff it out with your emotions and embrace it so fully when you find those moments. Like right now, you know what's going on right now? As you're listening to us, you are practicing the vibration of your unmanifested but nevertheless true reality of well-being, you see. And a lot of it's manifested, but you're feeling the vibration of so much that's in your vortex. And if you could just maintain this feeling, you know what we're talking about. You're feeling it, aren't you? You can feel it because you know we know it. And when you know we know it like we know it, when we're focused on you knowing what we know, you know it. Don't you know it? You know it. You know it. You can't not know it. You cannot have been here listening to it and not know it, at least to a degree, in the way that we know it, you see. So as you just milk that, as you just milk what you know, then the universe says, well, this amplifies it, and this amplifies it. Here's evidence of this. Here's evidence of this stable vibration. Here's evidence of this stable, chronic, in-the-vortex vibration that you've got going on. What you're living, what's manifesting is always evidence of the stable vibration you got going on. And you have the ability to improve it all day, every day. All day, every day.
Yeah.
We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. It is exhilarating to know you. We want you to know that your vortex is open for our perusal at all times. And you need not feel uncomfortable about it because we adore what we see there. And everything that we think about you is about your vortex and your relativity to it. Every word that we utter and everything that we know is about assisting you in coming into conscious awareness with who you are. We told you at the beginning of this day that it was going to be good, but there's no way of anticipating just how good something can be. It is the real-time discovery of it that we all experienced here together today.